Okay, going live, and loading screen is up. Okay. Now I've got 2 minutes to find that music and remember where it was hidden. There it is. Oh no! That's good. Hey, I found the music, guys.
Well, I'll put my backpack on.
Oh yeah, don't go out without your backpack. Dang.
My backpack's my best friend. Can't forget.
Literally. Okay. I was able to cleverly mute only the sound from the VLC media player. Oh, come on, stop that. Now you're hearing my computer doing a heckin' scrim as I'm trying to add these files too quickly. Ha 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 ha. I'm so excited for the game tonight, you guys. I am enjoying this approach of having like back-to-back weeks too. That's kind of fun. Okay. We good. Are we good with the captions? Yes, we are. Oh, not bad. 12 seconds to go. We got this. Oh, I gotta pour my drink too. Ooh. I'm going for it tonight. Oh, here we go. Aw, heck. Hello, scribblers. You caught me right as I'm prepping for our story time this fine evening. Oh, heck. Hey, Conjuring Club, what's up? Are y'all ready for another tale? An Outpost 5? I can't show this bottle that I'm pouring from, right? Because we're not supposed to show, like, brands and names of things. Good evening, Artemis. Good evening. Mid-drink beginnings. Yes. I figured since we were going for our Western theme and some of our protagonists here were enjoying some beverages last time, I figured I would join in this evening. Of course, a couple of the crew are not feeling too well, so maybe gin will not be the thing tonight.
Oh, tea.
Tea will be better. We traded. I had my tea last time, and I'll have a drink for you, my friend.
Nice.
Cheers, everyone. Happy Thursday. It is game night. We are back in action with Outpost 5, our Western Sci-Fi Bard RPG miniseries. Yes. Always enjoy a beverage. What's your beverage of choice when you're playing your games? And, ooh, that's a nice hat. That is a very nice hat. I like that, Jen. Oh, heck.
I feel left out now. I wish I had a wide-brimmed hat.
I'm supposed to be hiding your character name. There, I fixed it. Nope, you didn't see anything.
I didn't see it. No spoilers for me.
Nope, not at all. Beer when playing, wine when doing the DM because I need it. I typically don't like to drink too much when DMing, but I do enjoy a small drink. Just a small sip, as I do have tonight. Courtesy of one of my dear friends who, for one of my birthdays a couple years ago, gave me my very own Scriv the Bard logoed whiskey glass. Check out that logo from Jenn. Lovely, lovely. Who's also going to be doing the logo for Bard RPG. Oh. So, okay. Quick little bit of an update there before we jump in. The Bard RPG team has assembled, and we are moving forward. The artists met. I love it. It's kind of melding into the background a little bit, though. You are one with the aurora. But yes, the artists met last night, and they are very, very enthusiastically, it seems, from the Discord chatter and reference pictures being shared, moving forward with our Kickstarter artwork. So give us some time, and we'll be able to start providing spoilers and teasers of the beautiful, beautiful things that are going to be shown with quills and space and fantasy and westerns and fleur-de-lis. Josh.
Yeah.
So, okay. Yeah. Oh, what else have we got? Artemis like rum. Yeah. Depends on the group. Mine are too crazy to not be a little bit drunk. Sometimes you just need a little something extra to take the edge off. So, okay. Shall we do a recap? Anything else we want to say while we'll drop it in? Oh, thank you, Kaz, lurking and gonna drop a host. Thank you, friend. Cheers to you. Cheers to you, good friend. That's a good bottle.
Yeah, let's have a recap. Yeah.
Okay. For our recap, I think we need a different little bit of music here. I am enjoying that chill jazz still, though.
Previously on Outpost 5.
Ooh, I like that. Ooh, that gave me some chills. Hold on. That was a little loud. Hopefully it's good now.
Good now? It's good, yeah.
Previously on Outpost 5, you met our heroes. Cain, the ranger, one of the eager and weathered and worn and tried and tested and true human rangers here, helping to settle the outpost, helping to discover what secrets, what dangers, what wonders lie within the Cthonika System, this new galaxy, as well as the asteroid belt circling this tiny star, this white dwarf that is bringing light and warmth to this new world, potential new home for humanity, a new space for the Federation entities to grow and expand and potentially colonize. You also met Kez, one of the wonders that Cain found during one of those early expeditions out in the asteroid belt. You don't know where Kez came from, who Kez truly is. Kez, those are questions you're still trying to answer yourself. But very quickly, you two became fast friends, partners in crime, literally and figuratively, from the sounds of it. Kez has a bit of a penchant for picking pockets. But all of that aside, we met these two heroes? Friends, adventurers, protagonists, these characters, outside of the only bar on the outpost, the canteen, get into a little bit of trouble, and finding a little bit of trouble, making a little bit of trouble, because there's definitely trouble to be found on the outpost right now. You have scientists going missing. Dr. Yara, one of the latest scientists from the Sierra, from the research detachment here. Sierra, of course, being the Science and Engineering Research Alliance. You're also seeing some wanted posters popping up. You're hearing rumors and seeing them confirmed with your own eyes. Your own two eyes. Sorry, Kez. The appearance of some strangely heavily armed guards, mercenaries, people who are loitering around the merchant district who don't seem to quite fit in with the typical militia, the typical fleet officers who have come out here to protect the outposts and help with the settling, help with the fortifications of these new areas. A shop was broken into. You caught up with one of your old buddies, one of your under-the-table partners, Paul, who helped you with some forgery work not so long ago. Some records were missing, some files broken into, and the documents that were no longer in that registration office belonged to none other than that missing scientist. Been gone for officially, what was it, 4 days? Whom you saw wandering around that merchant district 3 days prior. Something's not quite adding up. Cain, you know, from the things that you've been piecing together so far, that there's something strange going on in that Sarah research detachment. Strange customs, paperwork, strange imports. Other scientists leaving on an extended trip to some other locations, but this is the first time one's actually gone missing. So you've decided to take it upon yourself to investigate. Your investigations led you to the warehouse district in the lower zones of Outpost 5, where you were able to find some more of those mercenaries waiting outside. Waiting for what? You don't know. But they're watching, and they are armed. I felt like I had to breeze through that because I think I chose the wrong song, because that was a very upbeat song for the for the recap.
Great, your recaps are always a highlight.
Oh, thank you. I try. I normally try to write them out, but I didn't today.
Brilliant.
So you are in the warehouse district, and before we begin, once again, this music that you're hearing, this wonderful music, is from Lazy Laser. We did get express permission from the artist to use the music. Check out their bandcamp using the !Lazy Laser command in the chat. Thank you very much. Thank you, Lazy Laser. This music has been an inspiration. So, you came to this warehouse because after talking to your buddy Paul, doing some sleuthing in the computer systems to figure out what happened to this scientist, Dr. Yara... I had a surname. Murdum. Dr. Yara Murdum. Doc Murdum. Paul was able to discover that while the copies of Dr. Murdum's access badge had been stolen, completely removed without a trace from the registration office, almost as if someone was trying to erase the fact that she was here. After looking for more information in the security systems and the security records, Paul was able to discern that whether it was Dr. Murdum or someone else, her access badge had been used just earlier that day in the warehouse district, in the botanical warehouse, where they were storing more of the equipment and materials used for terraforming, used for making atmospheric improvements to make life a little bit easier, a little bit healthier on the different outposts and eventual colonies. So that is where you found yourself on this very, very dusty morning. Mid-morning. Sun's getting a little bit higher in the sky. So what do? You're gazing upon this warehouse. This warehouse does have larger windows in the roof to allow sunlight in. There are 2 entrances that you are aware of that you can see just from your initial recon. And you do see 2 of those armed guards outside.
Head's kind of like reaches out one of our hands out and our arms out from the side of the backpack, and one of her fingers sort of like transforms into like a spyglass on the end of her finger, and she puts up against Cain's eye.
Ooh.
Take a closer look.
That is cool.
Yeah, I guess I want to look. How far away are we?
You are a few hundred yards away. You have not been spotted yet because you knew that whatever was going on there, it probably wasn't something you wanted to rush into.
Yeah.
Because, of course, earlier when you met Paul, you saw some of those mercenaries, some of those strange individuals. These are not the same individuals, but they're wearing the same gear, the same kit. And their presence didn't seem to be very well understood either by Paul or the member of the post militia, the post security, who was there taking the report from the break-in at the registrar's office. So you don't quite know. You didn't get the chance to talk to the security folks either. Or you didn't before you dove into action. Maybe you should have.
Maybe.
But they're there.
Cain, can you see any badges or anything or insignias on them?
Yeah, I'll have a look. Yeah, look at further details about what the guys are wearing.
Okay. So this isn't something that is going to require a roll. Because for those of you who haven't seen our Bard RPG stuff before, we're not doing like skill checks in that same way. We have action domains. So for this isn't something that is going to drastically change the course of the story, but you're not trying to change the plot, you are simply trying to perceive. So we'll say with the ability and the tools that you already have at your disposal, you're able to kind of get a glimpse. You don't see badges on them. And you kind of know what the badges would look like. So the access badges here, everyone who's registered on the Outpost has them. And you don't always have to have them clearly displayed. You don't see them on these individuals at this time, and you can't quite remember. You didn't really look, you didn't really pay that much attention in the merchant district either. But most of them should have some sort of colored background associated with them. So the rangers are orange, the scientists are blue, security is red, and the merchant district is typically green. So kind of those types of areas. And then of course, if you are able to serve in different forms, you'll have a stripe with the secondary and tertiary kind of roles. And you don't see any badges of that kind on these individuals at this time. But they are carrying some very interesting looking rifles. The kind that you typically, Cain, would only carry when you're out on an expedition.
In terms of the surrounding area, is there a way to sort of look around the side or the back without being spotted by these guys at the
You'd
front?
be able to. You'd be able to maneuver. It seems like, from what you can see, they're guarding that front door. But this is the warehouse district, so you would be able to navigate around between different warehouses, between different storage buildings and equipment that's out there.
Yeah, I'll mutter to Kez that we should maybe take a look around the side without the guys with the guns.
The usual way. It's not
Yeah.
not going the front way. Let's try and find some windows or something.
Hmm.
Although I don't know how many they'll have in a warehouse. But maybe an air vent.
Is from the shape of the building, would there be a way to get up onto the roof easily?
From that building, so since that one does have windows up there, there will be an access ladder. However, you would have to get very close to the building. So think of it as a rectangle. The way you are facing, you have that front door more towards you, so it's a little bit offset from your position. But between you and that warehouse, there are other storage buildings, and there is another warehouse. All those front doors are facing in your direction, and they're arranged in a rather grid-like pattern. So you would be able to kind of circumnavigate and make your way to that warehouse and possibly come up on the side.
Yeah. Yeah.
So the kind of right-hand side from what you are looking from your vantage point. So you'd be able to go around one of the other warehouses that's between you and that one and and enter that way. There is an access ladder on that side, but closer to the back, so that from your perspective, again, that back right corner, it'll take you a little bit longer. You know, there's another door on that other side, that other face of the warehouse. You don't know what's back there, but that ladder is closer to that end. Conversely, you can see as you're looking along, if you climb up and are able to jump or somehow get to that warehouse from the rooftops, you potentially could do that.
Kez, what do you think? Are you waiting for the mystery of the back door, or the thrill and suspense of possibly falling for the fun jump?
Fun jump.
Keep it simple. Try and find a nice, easy access. No theatrics. No theatrics.
No theatrics.
No theatrics isn't really our style usually, but
the spoils go to the bold. Sorry, I can't be influencing this. I am the narrator.
I'll walk sort of around the back of the other warehouse to try and get around the side of this one and find the back door of the warehouse we want.
Okay. So if you were to peek around, you do see one other guard on that side of the door. They're not really looking in your direction. They're looking out.
There's something
kind of just waiting. Seems like they're waiting. But you think if you're careful, you would be able to go and climb up that ladder.
Should we go up the ladder?
There's bound to be a roof. Window or something.
There are windows. There are openings, like skylight kind of things on this one.
We've already done one roof today already. What's one more?
I could always use my tool, my thumb tool.
Yeah, I want to try and climb the ladder.
Okay. The ladder is, let's say, not the most stable of ladders. So you will have to be very careful. It will take you quite a bit to climb up the entire way. It is a service ladder, so it's not used as regularly. As you begin to climb, it starts to creak a little bit. You continue to climb. Are you going fast? Are you going slow? How are you doing this? Because with each crack and creak of this ladder, because it's a metal ladder, so your boots are making sound on it, you can see the shadow being cast by the light of that guard on the rear door starting to move. What are you doing?
Yeah, I guess faster if the guard's starting to move.
Yeah, so I'm going to try and do I'm going to try and fly my hands up to the sort of the top of the warehouse.
Like a grappling hook?
Yeah, grapple up and lift the Cain up, basically. At least take some of the weight off the rungs to make it way quieter.
So as you are trying to very quickly go up, which does generate more noise, Kez, your arms fly up, grapple hook, pull! The most intense of pull-ups. I will actually ask you to do a tech action for this one, because this is in some ways creating more rapid noise, at least in a brief moment, before then the silence of coming up and landing up there, and that guard will take notice. They have already taken notice, and they are starting to come around that corner to look to see who's there, and you've got just a split second before they look up.
Okay.
I will say this can be assisted.
I'm trying to think what I guess, because there's nothing I could really do to assist the tech side of things. It's more just me climbing fast.
Okay. Yeah.
I don't know whether that's necessarily assisted.
Yeah, we'll just call it a straight roll then. So go ahead and roll your d6s for your tech action.
5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 14, 15.
15.
4d6, yeah.
15's good. 46 for your secondary action in the stack. Okay. 15's good. You're able to get up there just in time before the guard looks up.
Yeah, pressed flat on the...
Pressed
Imagine that.
flat. Even the arms.
And the arms go back into the sockets.
And as you very carefully look down to see, they did look up. Not seeming to see anything. They're walking around a little bit farther to the front. They're going to yell out, "Hey! Did y'all hear that?" He hears some conversation in the distance.
I guess looking for a way in case they check the roof. Looking at the windows, looking at the entrance that the access ladder would lead to.
Yeah.
Yeah, and Kez doing that as well. The arms slowly creeping out and kind of feeling around for sort of any gaps or any windows slightly ajar or panels on the roof.
So these are larger paneled skylight types of things on this one. Because at this stage, especially since Outpost 5 has that localized gravitational field, that stabilizing field, the asteroid sections that you are built into, that you are embedded within, are getting fairly consistent sunlight here. So this one has windows, as well as some of the other warehouses as well, but this one in particular, because it has more agricultural stuff inside, it requires more of that sunlight to go through. It's a warehouse that is also being used, as you look through the windows, as a bit of a greenhouse. So you can see things that are growing in there. You can see condensation from the humidity within as well on these windows. Because of course these are different strains of flora that they want to use to help with the stabilization and quality improvement for the atmosphere around the outpost, but as well as terraforming projects. And that's a lot of the focused research, the stated research of the Sarah detachment here. So as you look in, you can see some equipment in there. You can see some long kind of trowel types of things where plants are growing. It's a little bit difficult to see because of that condensation that's building on that very thick glass. But you also see 3 more of those figures inside, dressed in black with the protective kind of body armor kind of gear. 3 more figures carrying 3 more rifles. You also see in a chair in the center of them. They are more towards the rear end of the warehouse where that other guard was standing by that door. Between 2 rows of the plants, between 2 rows of the it looks like some sort of vegetables that they're trying to grow in there. Not important. You see sitting there another figure, a hood over their head, in a chair. You don't know what's going on, but within moments, you see the person shaking their head, and one of the figures in the rifle comes up, or figures in black comes up with their rifle butt across this figure's hooded head. They hunch over. You can see now, as they're hunching over, if you kind of wipe through the glass a little bit, that they're also tied. Their hands are tied behind them to this chair.
Cain, what can you see? What can you see? What can you see?
There's more of those guys, but there's also someone tied up on a chair with a hood on their head.
Oh, I knew something was up. That's not right.
Yeah, something tells me that, I mean, I wouldn't want to be that person down there. I hate to say it, but maybe we're on for a rescue mission?
Looks like it. Maybe one of our abseil routines?
Yeah, we could maybe do something to distract the guys first so that we're not outnumbered. Get a few of them to run out. We could break the ladder. That would definitely make a loud sound.
Yeah, and they wouldn't be able to get on the roof either.
Yeah. It certainly didn't seem like the sturdiest of ladders. It shouldn't be too hard to...
No, I don't imagine so.
How long can your arms reach? And also, how tall is this warehouse? Like, how far will I have to drop if Kez lowers me part of the way?
Let's say it would be, if it wasn't a warehouse, it would be like a 2-story. So you have the ground floor and then one higher. And actually, as you're looking in, you do see sort of platform, shelf, scaffolding kinds of things along the walls for the long sides of the warehouse. So there are other things that are stored up there. And you see that scaffolding type of shelving systems on either side, with most of the troughs for the greenhouse experiments, all the plants in the center. The center towards the rear end. The front end has more farming equipment and other things.
Yeah,
if that paints an okay picture.
Nice. I guess, yeah, if we... Are the windows locked, or are they relatively easy to open?
You can try it. So if you go to one of the windows, they're not locked. Yeah. And they do have to be cleaned and changed, and you have to have basic maintenance. So they're the kinds of windows that will have hinges. So if you push on one end, and you can try this, it takes quite a bit of force, and it may not be quite as quiet. Unless you move very, very slowly. But you would be able to, with enough force and enough control, push it down so you could potentially slip underneath. And if you're careful, you think you could land on the shelves.
I think distraction first, break the ladder first, and then attempt the window in case the window is not quiet.
They might even run out. They might even run out from...
Yeah.
Well, at least 2 of them. Maybe. I mean...
Yeah, hopefully it'll be a loud enough sound that some of the guys in the building might go out to check.
It's the best plan, Cain.
You got anything good to break the top of that ladder, have it fall down and clatter on the ground?
I can push it like 5 feet out from the building roof. Even from where we are.
Yeah, I guess together.
Just push it.
Yeah, I'll kick it, you whack it.
Yep.
Alright, on 3.
Okay.
1, 2, 3.
Hold up. Because this is one of those things where we're going to have to use our story wheel.
Yeah. It's just an example of like multiple events happening at the same time. Is that?
Yes.
Yeah.
So, for the story wheel, we have a little bit of a side tutorial. The little Navi, hey, listen. For story wheels, we use that in conjunction with the different tiers of difficulty for the challenges, tiers 1 through 5. The story wheel is initiated when you have a more complex challenge. So, I will show this because this is part of the play testing as well. Mm-hmm. For this kind of challenge, definitely more complex from the things that you've done before, because you are not only creating a distraction and infiltrating, but you have a possible rescue mission as well. So we're going to say this is a moderate challenge for the story wheel. So it's going to look something like this. A little bit like the clocks kind of system.
Yep.
With each successful action that you do, and it will require rolls for this, because you are deliberately, purposefully, proactively doing things instead of just passively perceiving or just reacting. So there will be different tiers associated with these. So I want whoever's the primary mover for kicking this ladder to go ahead and use what would probably be a physical.
I'm probably a bit stronger, so I guess I'll...
Probably a
kick
bit
and be
stronger. So go ahead, and this is going to be to successfully kick the ladder, dislodge it from the side of the building, and it goes all along that building, and it is riveted in. It's not leaning. So let's see what you're able to do here. And if this is an assisted, then we can do that as well.
If I these tests, presumably, if I can come up with a way that I can assist like very logically, then you allow it. Yeah. So so if I loosen the rivet with my tool, my thumb key tool,
Yeah.
would that be good enough to assist?
I would say so, because simply pushing isn't going to make a lot of sense. So depending on the action you want to use, it needs to narratively make sense, and I would be looking to you to narrate that action and describe this is what I'm doing in order to have this effect. And then that will be part of your assist. And then if you are able to meet these challenges appropriately, that wheel will turn more towards success. If something goes wrong, it can turn backwards. So let's see how we do this. So your first part of your plan, dislodge that ladder, create a distraction.
So I'm gonna loosen the rivet like with my thumb tool. You know, I'm really good at
The
feeling.
tool.
Yeah, the tool. And then you're gonna give it a great big kick with both your legs, I presume.
Yeah.
Yeah. So I kind of reach out. I'm really good at feeling objects, basically.
Yeah. And I'd say you're probably able to, especially since they're still talking, you've got to be careful, you've got to be quick. Because at this stage, as you've been planning, that other guard came back and is now back at the other door.
Yep.
The one in the rear of the warehouse.
Nice. So is that me rolling the main one and then an assisted from Kez?
Yes. And we are changing the way we're doing assisted rolls because it turns out it was a little bit OP'd last time. So for this, I would say you can sub 1.
Sub 1.
1d6.
Well, I got 2 6s, so that's a good start.
Ooh, yeah, I'll sub.
That's good.
I'll sub my 2 for one of your 6s, so that would add an extra 4 points to make it a 25.
Hoo-hoo-hoo! Dang!
Wow.
You barely even needed that. So 25. This, again, playtesting, peek behind the curtain. This was a tier 4 challenge, which means you need to exceed that 24-point range, and you got it. So not only were you able to dislodge it with the force, probably fueled by some of this anxiety-induced adrenaline, with what it is you're about to attempt, and knowing that you are very much outnumbered. But you're a rebel. This is what you do, right? You like to cause distractions and chaos and sabotage things. Kez, thanks to your very quick, very adept work with the bolts, holding it in, you were able to, with a very, very loud clatter, dislodge the ladder. And you're able to see, because it's very tall, after that initial dislodging, that initial clatter of sound, it almost in slow motion tips towards the ground and falls with a crash.
Yes.
Immediately, you hear shouting downstairs.
I want to look at the reaction of the guys in the building.
They stop. One of them was tightening, in the middle of tightening the bonds, the binds for whoever is in that chair. They all stop, look up. One of them, you can hear muffled shouting. In response, the guards outside, you can see 2 of them now rushing around to that side where the ladder fell, and they look up and they start shouting. What are you doing?
Nice. I guess we're going in.
Yeah. We're still going to try and be quiet, just in case we don't get spotted.
That was pretty loud.
Yeah.
And if that ladder fell down, they're going to assume that they're looking up.
Yeah.
Because they didn't see anyone before. Okay.
Yeah, let's
quickly going inside?
Yeah.
Okay, so you're pushing that ladder. They are on alert. 2 of those individuals that were within the warehouse are now coming outside to look.
Yeah.
One
nice.
of them
Now
is
that-
staying at the chair because you did very well there. Okay,
Nice,
what's your next
yeah.
move?
I guess we're Kez sailing. We're
Good sailing.
Okay.
we'll see how safely Kez can lower me down onto one of those scaffolding ledges.
So you're able to push, and it seems like, luckily for you, they were maintained fairly recently, but it's still a bit creaky. But you're able to push one of those windows down, and I would say it's probably twice the width of your wingspan.
Yeah.
Almost twice the width of your wingspan. Push it down. And are you landing on one of the shelves?
Yeah.
Okay.
Really?
Or going all the way down.
I mean,
we go all
if
the
your
way
arms
down?
are long enough to get me far enough down,
Well,
I
they're
will.
10
far?
feet. They're 10 feet, but it depends.
That's not going to get you all the way down.
No.
No.
How much would that mean to fall? At full extension.
That'll be probably another 10 to 15 feet.
Yeah, I don't want to fall 15 feet. That's too many.
Because imagine right
Yeah.
now you're on the roof of what would be the
Yeah.
first floor up from the ground level. So that's going to be...
Let's do the scaffolding then.
Yeah.
Okay, so you're going on the shelves, going on the warehouse shelves. Let's say you would be able to conceal yourself within those boxes and equipment up there. And now you can hear more clearly. What was that? Go, get out there. If there's anyone, kill them. We are not to have witnesses. And you're hearing now, with the sound of commotion outside, the figure in the chair, you hear muffled screaming. And the one individual who's still in there, with a curse, goes up, smacks him again. They haven't spotted you there yet. They're looking outside. They're not necessarily looking on the shelves right now.
What angle are we at? Are we like facing them, or are we like behind them?
You are more in front, more towards the front end of the warehouse, looking down on a diagonal towards the back.
Yeah, okay. Almost like the side of the...
Yes.
The scaffolding's on the side, yeah. Okay.
Yes.
That makes sense. So we just basically want to just descend the scaffolding and go straight for the hostage. And Kez says, Cain, you need to prime your weapon. This is they're not messing about. You heard what they said.
I guess we're fighting someone today.
So for this, I would like you to describe to me what you're going to do.
Yeah. Is there any way of getting down from the scaffolding quietly? Like, for example, like, could Kez lower me down again so it's quiet, or would it just be, because it's metal scaffolding, would it just be loud?
It'll be metal scaffolding, and they're on high alert now.
Yeah.
So
I think we just go for it.
You most likely will be seen. Unless you're able to do some sort of weird supernatural kind of thing to cloak you, or somehow do another distraction to briefly draw their attention away from where you are going to be lowered.
I think
what's on the shelf for this?
You see boxes, you see crates, you see bags
Okay,
of
solid.
sand, you see... It's hard to tell without ripping open crates. But so you see like bags of sand and like cement-like kind of mix. You see, crates of shit. Sorry,
Yeah.
of stuff.
I
I almost forgot I was on a family-friendly stream there.
Is there anything small I can throw? Or is it all like huge sandbag?
You're gonna have to rip open boxes
Yeah.
to do that sort of thing, unless you would happen to have something that makes sense in your pack.
Probably nothing that would make a sound. Cause did you bring anything with us?
No, we just got to get down there, get her
Yeah.
out quickly. We'll get them out quickly.
Okay.
Yeah. All right. Well, I'll go face on, and I'll shoot this guy.
Oh!
I can definitely get you stable and stuff, and like at least on the scaffolding with I can use them as braces basically,
Yeah.
like sniper braces.
Yeah. I would, yeah. We've verbatim heard these people that we've heard them say they're gonna kill us. So I'm gonna shoot first.
They're on high alert. They're looking, and if this is a hostage kind of situation, any sort of unexpected sound or intrusion, they're going to be. They're not just gonna go right back to what they were doing. It's not like Skyrim, and you're fine. It's like, oh, there's someone there. Huh. Thought I heard someone just because you're crouching for like 5 seconds. That's not going to work.
Must have been the wind.
Must have been the wind, yes.
Yeah.
Who said that? Who said that? Okay. So, describe to me what you want to do and how your actions are going to support it.
Yeah. I'm just trying to think of a way that we'll do this situation without me dying. Because it's the case of if I just run down and run at this guy, he's got a gun.
Mm-hmm.
But then if I shoot this guy, that'll make a sound, and the other people might come in.
Loud. Yeah, so it's like it's one of two options.
You are starting to run out of time.
Yeah.
I think we should get down there and run at him, or the guard.
Going in?
Yeah.
Going in like,
I think so. Yeah.
Leroy!
Yeah, run.
Leroy!
Crying.
Is there anything that you can use with your special actions?
Oh, resist is one of mine.
So you've got Purify and Resist. And for Rebel, you chose Sabotage specifically.
Yeah, I've got Sabotage.
Provoke and Sabotage. Because if we're going to go... Because if Kez, you got both Purify and Resist, you can have like the two sides of that coin.
Yep.
So for Sabotage, you can identify the weakest points of a structure or system and discover how to affect them.
Maybe his weapon? Maybe remove the clip from his gun?
Yeah, I'm trying to think of a way I would do that.
You would still have to be able to be close enough to do it.
Yeah,
it's
I'd
not
have
going
to
to
be
magically
right there.
happen.
No.
But this is one of those things where you would be able to break down a complex kind of task. Whether literally or figuratively, right? Because you're looking at systems as well. But in this case, a structure or a system.
So what Kez is going to do is going to use the resist, yeah?
Mm-hmm.
And she's going to unfurl her hands, her metal hands, and place them over Cain's heart and lungs. They're almost like a temporary armor.
Like armor. So you want... Oh. Okay. So you want to use yourself, basically.
To resist damage.
Okay. So resist, the way we had it written initially, was to resist the effects of contamination or corruption. However, because we're still fine-tuning these, and I like the narrative use there, we can do that. Mm-hmm. So you will, in a way, using more of that special action as the innocent. You're kind of using yourself as like a human shield. But
I want to resist fatal damage.
Okay.
If I can.
Resist fatal damage.
Shot.
We can do that.
Yeah, basically, yeah.
Yes. Okay.
Yeah.
So
if
for
I'm
that,
shot, it won't be directly in the forehead.
it won't be. It won't be. That's good. Okay. So in that case, you'll be using your resist action. Very good. Don't forget you do have plot points that you can expend to boost some of your normal actions as well. Add another d6. So you want to go down, if I'm understanding this right, going through the deliberate actions, you want to use resist, using yourself to protect Cain from fatal damage, which would be easy to do because you're in the backpack on their back. Cain, are you going to be climbing down or starting to shoot from here and then descend?
I think probably climb down because I need to be close.
Okay.
Is the wheel for the sprinkler system anywhere near us?
Oh. It's farther down on the ground, but you would be able to access it. It is on this side of the building.
Yeah, I was thinking of using just turning on the sprinkler system as a distraction, but I would already be making
You'd have
noise
to be on the
climbing
ground.
down. I'd have to be on the ground. Never mind, I don't want to fight wet if I don't have to. There's nothing worse than fighting soggy.
Well, they'd be soggy too.
Yeah. I have a feeling they're more covered than I am.
Oh, thank you for the bits, Coda.
Yeah, I'll just
Okay.
climb down as fast as I can, and
We can call this a bit of a parkour challenge. I've been playing a lot of Dying Light lately, so I'm like all about the parkour right now. And the aesthetics of it. So you'd be able to swing carefully down. So there are 4 levels of this shelving system. I'd say you'd be able to go down, and there are, stabilizing poles, supports. So you could either climb down, you can use the pole and go down that way.
oh yeah, let's slide
To
like
stabilize?
a fireman's pole.
Okay.
This is the fastest way. Slide down and immediately gun out.
Okay.
Pointed at this guy.
Okay. So, I want you, if you're going to immediately start firing as you're going down, you need to go ahead and roll for that kind of action. Kez, invoke resist. So that is a 6d6, and this will determine how well you are able to defend Cain through this next sequence, because you want to use this as more of an enduring kind of action.
Yeah, it's kind of like through the whole scenario.
Okay.
Yeah.
Let's see how well you roll.
Pretty good. 6, 12, 14, 15, 16.
We're gonna have a music change now.
21, 24, 25.
25. Very good. Y'all are rolling high. Okay. Cain, as you are prepared to slide down, gun blazing, you feel Ken's arms, metallic, go-go gadget kind of arms, wrapping around you like a vest, like a bulletproof vest. As you now slide down, what did you roll for your action here?
So that's physical, yeah.
Yes, this will very much be a physical.
A 17.
A 17. Why isn't it? Hold on. 17 is very good. We're having some issues with the music here. Okay, 17. You're able to roll down. That's pretty good. So I'd say you'd be able to go down easily enough. You start firing?
Yeah, it's gonna go badly for me, but why not? I'm not exactly, I'm not a character known for...
Okay.
Let's take some risks.
Yep.
That's okay. So with that 17... Yeah. So you're able to slide down, not quite as quickly as... not quite as gracefully as you would have liked, but go down. As you are climbing down, as you are starting to go, you hear him yelling, and you hear the gunfire beginning. With that 25, you feel the impact of one of the bullets hitting right in your ribs. But it's thankfully deflected, thanks to Kez and their very quick use of the special action. You immediately turn back, pop, 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 fire off a few rounds in their direction, and you see him dodging and trying to get away. You're able to catch him in the shoulder.
Nice.
One of the exposed areas, because the body armor is more of a vest, protecting the vitals, much like Kez is for you. How well those two types of armor will measure up together, you don't know. But you're able to make it now down onto the ground with that armor. What are you doing next? He's still there, armed, now yelling for the others outside.
Yeah, I guess just running towards the hostage.
Okay. You're making a beeline, bolting for them.
Prioritize, freeing them so they can stand up and they can run away with us rather than having to carry them.
Okay, make it directly for the hostage, and you are able to now quickly, in some ways, possibly hiding behind them, you see that their arms are bound, or their wrists are bound behind them around the chair. Their legs, however, are currently free. You hear muffled voices like, "Who is it? Who's there?
We're here to get
Are you
out."
crazy? You're going to die." but it's muffled because the bag is the sack is over their head. The hood is over their head. You are still taking fire. As you go behind the hostage, they are going to the figure is going to try to maneuver to come at you from the side. You see that he's trying not to shoot the hostage.
Yeah, I'm gonna keep myself behind the hostage.
Okay.
Kez, you have a sharp tool in your hand, right?
Yeah.
I'm willing to let you sacrifice a part of my arm, which use one of your hands to...
On the bind.
To just quickly do it, because me untying it'll take forever, and I'll just keep returning fire.
Yep, I'll saw through that then.
Okay, yeah, you're able to very quickly. That's not one that would necessarily need an action kind of roll. However, if you want to continue to evade Cain, you've got to move because you're under fire.
Yeah.
So you're able to very quickly.
Is there any? What's the closest cover?
The closest cover is diving behind the troughs of plants. So you do have places for cover. So for the few seconds it'll take for you to dart there, kind of maneuver, slice through the bonds, slice through the rope that's holding their hands together. It's going to take a few seconds. You're going to come under more fire.
Yeah, that's fine.
So, okay, at this point, what are you going to do? Are you going to take them and dive back behind under cover? Are you making a bolt for the door behind the warehouse? Because that's the closest one to you.
I guess making a bolt for the door, now that the person's hands are untied, yank their hood off so they can see what's going on, and they can run and follow us if they want.
If they want to?
Yeah, so that way at least they can see what's going on. Yank their hood off as they run past and just, I guess, door, because this is a bad situation.
I suppose if you run in for the door, you'll have the backpack facing the shooter, so at least if they're going to hit anything, they'll hit me, or hit my vessel.
Okay. So you ran into this.
Yeah.
Oh
No
boy.
No thoughts.
No. Just hey, let's help.
Yep.
So as soon as you yank the hood off of them, the other individual who's keeping their distance because you had a gun and you haven't fired it again since, just firing after you landed on the ground, untying, and now you're bolting. Are you going to fire in response? Are you going to?
Yeah.
Well, okay. So I'm imagining this. You're yanking the hood off of their head, and you see for the quickest glimpse before you tell them run, you do see the face of Dr. Murdum, of Dr. Yara Murdum. Beaten. There's some blood there. And you could just very quickly get the glimpse of there being blood stains on that hood as you're pulling it off. Terrified, she says, "Are you insane?
Probably, yeah.
Run!" So you're pushing her ahead of you towards the door. Get to the door. The guy behind you is continuing to fire. You do take 2 shots.
Yep.
Because at this point, Kez sacrificed some of that. But you are able to go back now that your other task was done, if you so choose, and snap back into that position. But you take 1 to the shoulder,
Ow.
and 1 to the hip.
Oh, that one's worse.
You went in and pulled a Leroy. So now you have the option to, and this will be another action on your part, on either of your parts, whoever wishes to do this. So you're trying to make a bolt for the door while defending. That individual is going to be continuing to run towards you now and calling, "They're going out the back!" to the others. You don't know where they are. And actually, as you look up, you see that they had somehow managed. You hear a clatter on the side. You see that They had somehow managed to put the ladder back to prop it, and you see one now looking down through the window that you came through. Because that's what they had been doing as soon as you started going in. Okay, so you're running.
Yeah.
They can see you now, coming out the back. The one down the window is going to try to drop down and fire upon you from above. How are you handling this? Remember, you have your full use of the action domains. So anything that you can think of between social, tech, physical, and supernatural, you can use. And I know this is our first time with Bard RPG that we're really doing this kind of thing, but consider this part of the tutorial and part of the playtesting.
So I think what Kez would do is keep one of her hands over Cain's heart.
Yep.
And then extend her other hand towards the door. Check for anything, contraptions, locks, anything ahead of time. So before Cain covers that distance.
Yeah. It's not locked.
Okay. So she pushes it basically. Tries to push it.
Okay. This is more of a complex action. So I will have you roll for this. Because you are not only defending, but now thinking ahead proactively, trying to open that door and push it ahead of you as you are all running, with Dr. Murdum bolting ahead of you.
I might have to use some plot points.
Yeah. Go for it.
Because it's a physical action and you can't help me. So
No, I'm there just shooting behind me.
I just want to make sure the door's open for when you reach it, basically. When you both reach it. So I'll use 2 plot points.
2? Okay.
Yep.
So you add 2 additional d6s. Go ahead, mark that 4 down to 2 plot points in your community tracker. Cain, do you concur with the use of these plot points?
Yeah.
Because
I
they're
would
a
like to
party,
get out
they're a
of this.
party pool, so you've got to both agree.
I would like to survive.
I'd like to survive. Survival's good. Survival's good. And Cain, as Kez is doing this, and you're trying to provide cover fire, reaching behind you, I will give you this. You are running through these different rows of plants. So you don't have direct cover anymore because it's all going lengthwise. But you do have different environmental things in your surroundings that you may or may not be able to use.
Is there anything sort of piled up either side, like wheelbarrows or anything that I can like knock behind me?
There would be. There would be different. You'd have some wheelbarrows. You'd have buckets. You'd have different tables and kind of stands at the ends of these rows that have different things for tending to them.
Nice.
There is also a hose at the end of one of them because they've got to water them. It's not all going to be the sprinkler system.
Yeah, I guess even though, knocking stuff over won't stop bullets, it'll slow the guy that's on foot.
It'll slow him chasing you. Yeah. And he's definitely giving chase. So
Yeah.
he's very quick. All right. I will allow this as another physical roll then if you are trying to obstruct and create obstacles for them to prevent at least this individual catching you.
I was so excited by the number 20 then. It's hardwired into my brain.
Did you get 20?
Yeah, it's not
You
the
got
highest.
20. Okay.
But,
That's good. That's good.
I got 16 for the door thing as well.
16. It's not locked, and you're able to push it open. And at this stage, as you're pushing it open and you're getting closer, I would say that's good with your 20. So he's not able to directly follow. He now has to maneuver a little bit differently around these rows because he's not going to be able to just jump over them. And that's a little bit hard for him to do while still firing. Again, it's not like a video game. So he's going to have to maneuver, try to catch up, and then continue on. But for now, he is not going to be able to fire upon you anymore, which is good because those 2 wounds from the bullets hurt. But your adrenaline is keeping you going. Kez, you're able to push the door open ahead of both the 2 of you and Doc Murdum. She is able to push through as well. Doors going out. You don't see others in front of the door yet, but as you burst out of this warehouse, you hear more of the yelling. The guy who is up on the roof is now trying to come down and fire at you from that end of the roof, while the other, how many individuals were there inside? 4 are now trying to come around from that side of the warehouse that the ladder was on. So that's going to be a little bit more between you and the most direct route to the transit station. So you're going to have to run in the other direction.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
So at this point, you've made it out of the warehouse. You have a living hostage. And you have, for now, slowed down the immediate pursuit behind you. That's good. Tell me what your goal is next. What is your plan? What are you trying to do? Where are you trying to go? How are you going to get there?
I guess we want a more indirect route to the transit station that blocks the certainly that blocks the line of sight of the guy on the roof shooting at us, and that goes the other way from the, so we don't run into the big gang of.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Has the outside of the warehouse got like, you know, like the classic kind of like handles?
Along the walls or the doors?
Just the main doors. Have they got
Yeah.
Like,
Yeah.
I think Kez is going to literally detach one of her arms and use it as like a bar to block the door, like wrap it in around the handles.
Behind you? So they can't get out?
Yeah. Cain's going to, hopefully, he's going to ask Cain to do that. She's going to sacrifice one of her arms.
You may not have a lot of time to do that because you just burst out and there are 4 coming around the side. They're outside. Those are the ones that were outside. So you can do that to prevent the one that's inside. But you still have 4 and now 5.
Literally just put her arm through both handles.
Okay.
And detach.
That one's a little bit more complex. I would say that's either physical or tech. Or would this be supernatural?
Tech, I think.
Tech, okay. Do a tech. Do a heckin' tech.
So she just slides her arm through both handles. Through both handles.
So I imagine you would be able to do that from Cain's back. You'll have to say, wait! Because you're not able to move independently from Cain except for your arms.
15.
That one, because this is more complex and it's a tense, fast-paced situation. 15... You're able to loop it through the door and attach it, but it's not as secure as you would have liked. They could probably break through, but it at least buys you some time. With that, because you would have needed a little bit more than that one for this one. Wait, did you use your plot points?
No.
When were you going to use your plot points?
The other 2.
Oh, that was for the door to push them open to escape?
Okay.
Okay. Got it. So with that, you now have the other ones coming around the side and you are in their sight. But if you continue to run around the other side of the warehouse, you can kind of maneuver. And there are warehouses and storage sheds and different things all through here. You would be able to, if you're quick, maneuver through. Is your goal the transit terminal?
Yeah.
Okay.
Although if it's closer in terms of just whatever gets us covered. So even if we have to run through another warehouse.
Is there any vehicles around? What do they arrive in?
There are some vehicles that are meant for just transitioning things like forklift types of things. There are forklift types of things that are meant to move things between the warehouses and meant for transport. You do also have, because you have worked out here before, Cain, so you kind of know this district a little bit. You know there's a transport vehicle kind of garage. If you were to go around these warehouses and continue in the direction, but it's close to the junkyard. So at this stage, you would probably skirt around the outside of the junkyard before hitting the transit.
Yep.
Which would have places to potentially hide or maneuver and
Yep.
So you could go through the next row of warehouses and just continue running.
Yeah, that sounds like a good plan.
Okay. All right.
Like a junkyard, lots of things, lots of metal.
Yep. Okay, so for this next stage, describe, well, I guess we kind of just determined what you're going to do there. So this will be another roll for evading. And Kez, have we determined what specific kind of supernatural pieces you wanted to use in terms of your actions? You can be creative with this based on what we've discussed with your character.
I think what she would do...
Because magician, supernatural is your primary.
Yeah. I think what she would do is, I think she can slightly manipulate the bodies, like physical things and some emotions. So I think what she would do is she would calm Cain down, like just the mere act of being wrapped around her, the only arm she's got left.
Mm-hmm.
She kind of, it's over her heart as well, so she kind of like slows her breathing and her heart rate, and allows her to focus, maybe to find a really good hiding place and stay very quiet.
Okay. So I would say with that, I would allow you to do a supernatural action there for calm and focus, which will then, Cain, because this wouldn't necessarily be an assisted, but if you're going to do that to have that kind of effect, I would say that the next piece for physical, for you to maneuver and dart and basically dive into the junkyard area to then maneuver onward to the terminal station, I will have you do 2 action rolls, but your tier of difficulty would go down with this kind of effect, depending on the success of it. Does that sound good? Okay. Go for it, Kez.
Yep. 14. Not the best. 3 ones.
Not the best, but I think it would give a boost for this next one. It just wouldn't continue.
Yeah, it wouldn't continue on. Okay. Cool.
14 is still all right. That's still enough for a tier 3. Within tier 3, not exceeding it. Okay, so Cain. First stage, maneuvering through the warehouses, making it to the junkyard.
That's 18 for me for the...
Yes. Okay. You're able to maneuver. And because you know this area pretty well, you can go behind, you can even dart kind of through some of the storage facilities as well. You're a ranger. You know how to maneuver and get out of different situations. So you are able to very quickly, with more yelling, with more gunfire, because they are all on foot, but they're not quite as fast as you. They're not quite as adept with maneuvering around obstacles as you are. So they're continuing to fire. Your challenge here is also helping to make sure Dr. Murdum is able to get through as well. So you're able to quickly push and pull and maneuver along. And I would say that initial bit of focus helped you from Kez, would have helped you do this. So you're now able to weave through. You hear shouting behind you. Don't let them get away! The firing's going. The guns are the bullets are flying past you. Sorry, no, we said these are laser rifles. So you have the sound of the right. I didn't want to say pew pew because it doesn't sound that intimidating, but those wounds that you have are not bullet wounds, but those were done from the plasma rifles, and
good, they're cauterized.
it burns.
They're bleeding everywhere, at least.
Well, they're cauterized, but it burns and it hits. It hits. It does more damage than a bullet. So you are in pain and you are wounded, but heartbeat slowed. You're able to make it now to the junkyard, and you see. I mean, it's a junkyard. It's full of all kinds of crap. So you are able to go through the heaps and the wreckage. Yes, the sound of bolts of crackling electricity zipping by, and you're able to dive through and start maneuvering there. It's not going to be as easy for them to pursue you here. Now, are you going to hide and take cover now that you've made it here? or are you going to continue on to the transit terminal? It's not too far, and you have been able to put some distance between you and the pursuers.
You're cool, Cain. You're cool.
I guess presumably they still know that this is the direction we went, and we went towards the junkyard.
Yes.
In which case, just continue on, maybe.
Continuing on. Okay. So between you and there, Murtum is going to turn to you, Yara, as you are in the junkyard. Who are you? What is this? Are you crazy? They're going to come after you. You know that, right?
Yeah, I'm not really the thinking type, but hey, we'll survive this long. Need to go.
Okay, so you're just gonna keep pushing her along?
Yeah, I mean, you can stay if you want, but I'm running.
I don't have my badge. They're not gonna let me through transit.
Shoot.
You can go and try a social.
Maybe you're a scientist, right? Presumably you know some sort of medical stuff. You helping me to get to a medical facility? Pretty good reason for them to let you on.
Shoo.
I mean,
Okay, fine. Let's just go. Okay, it's better than dying here in a junkyard. So you bolt. You one more action. Do one more physical action to get you there. Kez, are you doing anything?
I'll do the same on the doctor.
She's freaking out, man.
Yeah.
Okay.
Try and calm her. That's better. Crikey. 6, 20.
20?
Mm-hmm.
Very good. Much better. I'm envisioning this as like palm to the face. Calm.
Yeah, kind of, yeah. Like instant kind of. It's a very deliberate thing, yeah.
Yeah, okay. She freezes as you do that and then looks kind of confused. Shakes her head a little bit and lets you continue to pull her along. So, Cain, what did you roll?
17.
17? You're able to just make it to the transit station because at this stage, as you get closer to that terminal, they are not going to keep pursuing past the junkyard. You're going to take one more hit to your leg, to your calf. Burns, searing pain. That one feels like it's torn through some muscle.
Oh.
Kez, your
Right.
backpack has some scorch marks as well. You're okay. You don't necessarily feel pain, but your backpack's damaged. The doctor, thankfully, doesn't seem to be harmed beyond what was done in the warehouse, but you were able to make it to the transit station, bursting through. The attendant at the transit station looks at all of you. What the are you doing? You don't know this one. Well, it's not Udom. It's one of the other ones that you have met and you probably know, actually. So this is... I'll give you a name because you would actually know who they are. Ivan. This one's Ivan. So you recognize their face. They're the same one who was there before. What are you doing?
Oh, no,
What happened to you?
Kidnapping.
Is that all you say? You look
Yeah.
behind you, and the figures don't seem to be continuing to pursue. They don't want to go near the transit station. For now, it seems like you're okay, but you still know that they're in the distance, and now you have a very panicked Dr. Yara Murtum with you.
Get us somewhere safe now.
Yeah, this is pretty bad. We need to report this.
Wait, that's the missing doctor.
Yeah.
Hold on. No. I've got to call security now.
Yeah, that's fine. Can we not be stood here?
Let's do it from a safe place.
I also would prefer not to stand.
I'm not going to make you do a social.
Yeah.
Because it wouldn't make sense. Okay, fine. Quick. Come in. You rush in. The door closes behind you. You're now in that waiting terminal for the transit shuttle. You are very injured. Ivan is going out to look. At this point, those figures are gone. You don't see them anymore. You are sitting here now, bleeding quite heavily. Because that last one on your leg it's more of a glancing blow, so it's not like it really cauterizes.
Can you
Your
see
hip,
a first aid
your
kit?
arm. You're not going to have a lot of first aid kits right here.
No.
But you can, as Ivan comes back. What happened out there?
I'm gonna tear a bit of my shirt off and tie it around my bleeding leg as I'm sat here. Like, oh, no, this guy's not bringing me a first aid kit.
We've got to call the militia. We've got to call the fleet officers in charge. What was it? What happened?
You got any explanation of the start of the story, Doctor?
And why are you here? No, you know what? You're bleeding. Let's just get you to the hospital. Let's get you to the clinic.
Thanks.
Do you have your badges? Do you have your passes? This is
We need
above
some
my pay
temporary
grade.
ones. We need some temporary stuff.
What do you mean temporary? You just came here. You've got your badges.
The doctor hasn't.
I got mine. The doctor's was stolen.
At this point, Murdum is still... Yara is still looking out there, fearfully shaking. Some degree of shock had been setting in, although the calm did help. The calm definitely did help. They took my badge. I don't have my badge. I don't have my pass. Ivan looks at you, looks at the situation. I can't just... If she doesn't have a badge, the system won't let her through.
Ivan, there's a promotion in this. This is a big
A
deal.
promotion?
Of course there is.
Ivan's kind of panicking and doesn't really know what to do right now.
Come on. We've never fallen out before. You need to do us a favour here.
How are you going to persuade him?
Use a bit of my supernatural and social. Maybe with a social, what's it called? Assisted.
Assist? Okay. So which one are you doing?
Supernatural.
Supernatural? And Cain assist with social? Is that what you're
Yep.
saying?
Yep.
Yeah, I'll do my best.
How are
Not
you
sick.
going to persuade him? Because now he's panicking as well. He sees you coming in, covered with blood and laser burns. A doctor who has been missing for days. And people more or less kind of presumed dead. Who does not have her badge. And Ivan is younger. And as far as you know, does not really feel comfortable with bending the rules too much and is at a loss right now. The kid doesn't really handle stress too well. So how are you going to persuade him?
I guess if it's me doing the social, I'll just play up. I need to get to the doctor immediately in terms
Okay.
of how hurt I am. Like,
Okay.
yeah, and just play up
Okay.
my injuries in terms of showing the urgency that we need to go.
Okay. So, Kez, you're doing calm as the primary with Cain's
Yeah.
social support.
Yeah.
How many are you rolling for primary? For a tech? Or no, yeah, it was supernatural, so that's 5. Very good.
Mhm.
So yeah, I would say you can substitute 1 in this scenario with your social.
18 I've got.
My highest roll is a 5 if you want to set
Yeah.
that in.
Okay. What does that bring
20.
you to? 20?
20. Yep.
Okay. All right. Fine. Fine. Okay. We can't do anything about this here anyway. I can do an override and just badge you in.
Thank you.
But I'll have to make a call so that they know that I'm doing this. Okay?
Yeah,
anything you have to.
that's fine.
Okay. I've got to file a report on this, but you can go. Quick, get to the
Thank
clinic.
you.
Doctor, I don't know what happened, but I'm happy you're alive. There are some weird things going on. It's like, thanks. Let's go. You're now sitting in the shuttle. 5-minute trip to the upper. You've managed to escape. You've managed to get through the warehouse, a little bit worse for wear. You used, as we're going to do like a mini bit of a reflection here. You were able to use, oh my gosh, a special action creatively and quite effectively, I would say.
I would be dead without
You were able to rescue Yara, Dr. Murdum. I would say that was not a full completion of that challenge. Like fully, but you were able to get through. So I will say with the effective use of the special action with rescuing the doctor, you get another 2 plot points from that.
Oh, good.
Well done. So as you're sitting on the shuttle now, Yara has her head in her hands.
You okay there?
I can't go back. You know that, right? They're going to be after me. And now they're going to be after you. I was trying to leave, but they got me before I could. I have to hide. They can't find me. You're in danger now, I hope you know. More obviously you do know, clearly. Is there somewhere safe we can go?
Presumably they'll check my address.
For sure, Cain. We can't go back there.
Yeah. How much time has it been since this morning? What's his name? Is Udom? Was that
Udom?
Is his shift over yet? at
No.
Customs?
No. Udom's working.
Yeah.
Yeah, he's on the day shift, early shift into
Yeah.
like past like early dinner time, really.
Yeah.
So Udom's still working. And it's not like you don't have communications devices, so you would be able to send him a message. You think we didn't keep our crazy advanced new supercharged version of whatever the iPhone or Android 27 is, this far into the future, you'll have a way to contact him. But Udom will be on shift, and he would most likely be the one to meet you on that other end. You don't know how quickly, you don't know if there's going to be someone waiting. You just know a report is being filed, but it takes some time. It's not like 5 minutes pass and there's going to be like a full group of people there waiting for you.
Yeah, I guess if it's very likely that he'll be there on the other end, I'll fire over a quick preemptive warning message.
Yeah, send a text.
So I'll
This
send over a
isn't
text.
Fantasyland Iastera anymore. We have technology.
Yeah.
You can
I'll
send
text
texts.
him. I'll text him and be like, hey.
Page them.
Yeah. Hey, been shot. People after us need somewhere to hide. Things went south.
Okay.
Yeah, such a great text to receive halfway through your workday.
Right? Okay. So you sent that message? Okay. You get a message back. Forgive my language, kiddos. Cain, what the actual fuck? Okay. Not gonna ask too many questions. We'll talk when you get here. Where are you?
On the transit.
Transit. Okay, I'm on shift. Do you have anything to do with this report that came through?
Probably.
Shit. A few moments pass. Another one. Funnily enough, you're not the first person to ask for a place to hide today. Meet me in the break room when you get here.
Thank you.
Okay.
What's going on, Cain? What are you doing?
I just texted Udam. He's hopefully gonna help us out.
You better do. You also better collect Sponge as well.
Oh yeah. I feel like, yeah. I mean, Sponge will be fine for a few hours.
Maybe.
Oh, our rooms are gonna be so covered in spores.
Probably. Sponge is not used to being alone this long.
Oh, no.
I might need to go back for Sponge. Poor puppy.
Cain could do with some happy spores right now.
Probably.
That'll take the edge off. The 3 balloons.
Heck, Yara could probably do with some happy spores right now. Okay, so you're able to go. You get to the transit station. Ding, ding. Mind the gap. And you're able to quickly transition out. You make a beeline for the storeroom, which is not towards the main entrance, where you do see some of the militia and a fleet officer starting to gather and speak to one of the other attendants. You don't see Udam there at the desk, but you make a beeline back, kind of towards the registration and like the ticketing check-in area. Go through, because you've been here often enough. Go past the customs booth. Go into the break room quickly. Thankfully, because you did tell Udam ahead of time, you're not going to have to deal with you have some time bought thanks to the other attendant. So Udam was able to coordinate that with you. Go back in. Udam is there. Play my music. Thank you. Again, thank you, Lazy Laser. Someone put that command in the chat, please. Cain, what in the blazes is going on? You walk in first with Kez. And then behind you, Dr. Murdum is there. You found the scientist. Did I not tell you to be careful and to not do anything stupid? And what did y'all do? You did something stupid.
Yeah, we did something stupid.
Dang it, Cain! Kez, you're supposed to be the logical one here, right? That's what AIs are supposed to be. Logical, wise, put together.
Maybe this was the wise decision. We got her back, haven't we?
But now what?
Yeah.
But now you need a place to hide? You need a place to stay? Is that it?
Of course.
Yeah.
Where do you expect to go? You can't stay in here.
No, just more somewhere temporary, so I can just sort the holes that are currently in me for now, and we'll work out a plan. Just buy us like, I don't know, like an hour, or can we even crash yours? I mean, that they saw my face, so probably they're gonna check mine.
Well, here's what we can do. Luckily for you, Ivan called me first before filing that report.
Bless that boy.
There were no names in that report. You know what that means? You have some time. Not a lot, but some.
Yep.
We've got to sort this out. Doctor, good to see you. Murdum just isn't even able to really speak right now. I don't know what went wrong. If this has anything to do with the stuff that we've been thinking, Doc can't stay here. Give me some time. I can give you the rest of today.
Thank you.
I don't know how much more I could do that. Do not go anywhere until you hear from me again. I'll come to see you after the shift is over, all right?
Mm-hmm.
You can go out the back.
Thanks.
Okay.
Cain, grab Sponge and let's go.
So
Lay low.
you're able to make your way back out, back into the residential district. And I realized we had a little bit of a narrative plot hole here because previously the barracks were in the lower half. But you made it to the transit station because you weren't going to go straight. You weren't going to go straight to your apartment. So technically, if we go with what we had said before, you'd have to go back in the transit station to get to the barracks. That is, things just didn't happen that way.
We'll have to leave. We'll have to leave them. We'll have to leave Sponge. We'll have to leave Sponge.
Or you can't go back. It's only like 5.
Fine.
You'd be able to go back to the apartment.
Yeah, so it's only a five minute
Yeah.
journey. We'll go.
Yeah.
And the barracks are not near the warehouses.
No.
Mhm.
So what we can do, because Ivan is going to have already filed that report. He didn't see any people. He just reported the arrival and apparent wounds and gunfire. So you would be able to go back. It makes sense though that you would go to the transit station because they would have followed you to the barracks.
Yeah.
100%.
Yeah.
But
Yeah,
the transit station was definitely going to be the safest place for you to go.
Yeah. Exactly.
So you go back. We'll go through that piece. Yara is concerned. We're going back.
Not to the warehouse. We'll swing by my apartment.
You're going to the barracks. Okay.
Yeah.
Honestly, that's better than going into the city or into the main outpost. I can't.
Yeah, less eyes. We'll have
Okay.
somewhere private.
So you're able to make it back. You go into the barracks. You badge in very quickly. Go up to your room. Your door is unlocked. You walk into your room, are immediately greeted by a very excited, very happy Sponge.
Oh, Sponge, hello! Oh, my beautiful boy, we've had such a terrible day. Yes, we have. We had a terrible day.
Aesthetic. An aesthetic.
So
Suddenly my wounds do not hurt.
Yeah. Just cover me in those spores.
Spore blanket.
Fudge isn't the only person waiting for you, however. Your door was unlocked. Fudge was out of the crate, covered in spores. And you see, sitting at your dining table, another figure. A very familiar looking figure, who you seem to recognize from the wanted posters that were in the canteen. the night before. Jenn, would you like to introduce yourself?
So I've got my hat tilted over, so it's like my face is cast in shadow, and I'm just like, it's a real cute pup you've got there.
They're the best.
Cain, is it?
Yeah, I know you. Thalia?
You didn't see a name on the wanted poster.
No, no. Oh, okay,
No.
well, then I don't know.
Metagaming. There was no name, only a description and a very
I
rough
assumed there would
artist's
be a name on the
rendition.
wanted poster.
Not on this one. Because they only had a physical description.
You just pull the wanted poster out of your pocket.
Yeah.
Just like,
What? They drew a mustache for some reason. I don't know.
Yeah.
So Kez hasn't said anything actually since
No?
they went into the apartment. She's going to do an aura check on this figure
Ooh.
Okay.
to gauge kind of some of their sort of inner personality.
Okay. Would you like to do an action for this one?
Yes, social. No, it's supernatural rather.
Yeah, go ahead and do your supernatural. And I'm going to let Thalia respond
Mm-hmm.
based on your roll.
Pretty good. 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. 22.
So typically for an NPC, I would not have you roll, but because this is for another player character, and this is going to reveal things potentially that you would not have otherwise been able to know, and given, Thalia, your background in construction, you didn't give a full physical description either, you just had your hat.
no.
So you can go ahead and do that now as you answer that, 22? For a supernatural? Checking your vibe. It's a vibe check.
The
Vibe
vibe
check.
check.
Yeah, we'll call it a vibe check.
Yeah. And it would appear as a colour.
Okay.
So she's not suspicious at all. Like,
No.
there's no, no shadiness that you wouldn't expect.
That's a very Marlowe way of answering.
Gets it.
Yep.
She's quite open. Quite open.
Really open, yeah.
Yeah, it's like a purple aura. I would say it appears to Kez as like purple.
Matches her hair.
Mm-hmm. So
So-
Kez is actually quite comfortable.
Very
Still
good.
doesn't say anything though. Still doesn't say anything.
Okay.
I heard you were a contact point.
Yeah, I mean, it's been an interesting day. I doubt how helpful this will be. Yeah, I don't. I'm gonna sit down. Can you grab my first aid kit? It's over in the kitchen.
You didn't say that to me.
Yeah,
Mhm.
to you.
Yeah. Yeah.
Time
Sure.
my
I go
dog
get
sit
the first aid kit.
You're able to do so. You do so easily. You come
Bring it
back,
over, yep.
bandage up. And,
So-
yeah, go ahead.
So what do you want?
You look a little rough for wear. I'm probably not. Probably not really welcome to hearing that I'm on the run.
Oh, you can join the club. Why not?
Oh, good.
There's loads of us.
Yara asks Yukez because, or what it looks like asking Cain, but weirdly looking at the backpack from Talia's perspective.
Right.
Do you have any tea? Can I make some tea? Is that okay?
Oh yeah, Kez, do I have your speakers on, or are you in my ear?
No, I'm not outwardly projecting though.
Yeah.
You're not projecting right now? Okay.
No.
So Talia just
are you-
looks like,
Yeah.
Talking to
yeah.
Yeah, no, we've got tea. I'll motion towards the kitchen.
Okay.
Yeah, I'm not
I'll
standing up.
I'll just help myself
Did
then.
you washing up while you were there?
You're just gonna start delegating everyone to take care of your apartment. You're injured. It's fine.
You
It's
do
fine.
the cleaning. Do my dishes.
Pick up after the sporgy.
Yeah.
Yeah, Sporky's gonna be following Yara into the kitchen to make some tea.
Oh, good. She could do with some giggle dust.
Giggle dust. That's what we're calling it now. It's giggle dust. That sounds like a drug. That sounds like.
Yeah.
Well, you never know. Well, we're not gonna do that. No, we're gonna pass that for now. Maybe giggle dust will be a thing in a different chapter. So, with that, you are once again talking to Thalia. That's the wrong music. That one's all right. That one's all right. Lazy laser intensity doesn't work for this situation. Okay. You were saying? Thalia asked Cain, so you're like a contact.
Yeah, so I guess we're all on the run. You got any tips?
About being on the run? Well,
Very
I've
stressful day.
been on the run for about a day now.
Oh, you're a few hours ahead of us. It's fine. Sort of ripping open the hole in my trouser legs and trying to treat the bullet wound in my leg with a laser burn.
Mm-hmm. You were told, Thalia, that Cain is a dependable person to go to.
Yeah.
Although now you're seeing that the person who told you that seems to not have coordinated with Cain too well.
I was told you were dependable. Are you good?
I'm. Give me like an hour.
At this stage, Cain, your phone beep goes off. You have a message received.
Yeah, I'll check it.
It's from Udom.
Oh, good. Give me some advice.
Hey, hope you made it back. I meant to tell you. Might be someone there waiting for you, looking for help. I passed her your name, but I was not expecting you to come back all shot up. So I'm sorry, but we'll figure this out later. Just stay put.
Don't worry about it. My surprise was worse.
So, Thalia, you look at the other individual in the room. You haven't met them, but you can see from kind of the pieces of the uniform that she's wearing that she is a seroscientist, which you have worked with before.
I'm sorry. Who is this? I'm like pointing. I'm gesturing towards Yara. Right?
Mm-hmm.
Also
This person can introduce herself now that I've had a cup of tea. I am Dr. Yara Murdum.
Doctor.
Former doctor with the Sarah Research Detachment here. Not a medical doctor, I'm sorry, I can't do anything for your leg. But I thank you for what you did. It was foolish, but thank you. And I'm sorry for what's about to happen.
You're a doctor?
I have my degree in research. I'm more of a biologist, really.
Do you happen to know what Dr. Karen, by chance?
I do. We're gonna go with this one now. I do know Dr. Karen. I promise next session I'll have this music fixed. I've been so long working with our Iastera soundtrack that it's actually taking me a little bit to properly curate this one.
Good.
Yeah.
Brilliant.
I do know Dr. Karam.
Did you happen to hear from him recently?
No. As far as I'm aware, he's another one that went off the map like I attempted to do.
Went off the map is one way to put it.
He's actually one who reached out to me to give me some warning that I should probably cut out. You know him. Is he okay?
It's what I was gonna ask you.
How do you know Karam?
It's a long story. One I don't really think we've got time for right now.
Well, we at least have until this evening. Why are you here if you're working for Karam? Karam's out on Outpost 2. Why are you here? Bless you.
I am. Thank you. Was also on Outpost 2.
And now you're on Outpost 5.
Seems to be the case.
Well, this isn't helping anyone.
In the background, I'm gonna put Kez down after I finish doing my leg, take my top off, and start doing my shoulder and my head.
Yep. Okay, I don't have anything to lose. And clearly you're not willing to give me information. Karam and I were working on exposing something. We've had concerns about a different bit of research that the director of the detachment, Giovanni, was ordering. Things that don't have much to do with agriculture. We were trying to share information. I'd been noticing things here, and I didn't want to be part of it anymore. Then Karam told me that he thought he had found something, found a lead, but he didn't have the information yet. He was going to share it, send it over the net. The next
does
day.
This information happen to be on encrypted on a data disk?
Yes. It should have been encrypted. He said he found
Oh,
something
it
that could
is.
help us bring them down. He said he found something that would show the truth.
Oh, it's plenty encrypted.
Do you know it? What does he still have it? Do you have it with you? Do you have this?
It's a lot of questions.
Well, we don't have a lot of time, so I'm hoping you have some answers.
I just pull it out of my pocket.
Cain, Kez, mark down a thread. Thalia, mark down a thread. You have the encrypted Sarah data drive. And that is where we're going to end tonight.
Ken, that was great.
Oh,
That was
nicely
great
done.
ending.
Nicely
That was a
done,
great ending.
Thalia.
That's a good ending. Cliffhangers.
You know we've got to do cliffhangers, especially for this kind of thing.
Do you know what this Bard RPG thing, the system does sort of encourage like a cinematic approach to the sessions? Feels quite cinematic.
It's
I don't know.
it's supposed to be much more narrative heavy.
Yeah.
It certainly is. We'll go to this one now. Close. I'm having some issues with my media player tonight. It's part of why the music was a little bit jumpy. But Well done. Well done, folks.
That was tense.
That was a little bit tense. That was a bit tense. So
I thought we were gonna die.
Yeah, I thought I was gonna die, and then you were gonna have to hobble away on your two little arms, like
your 5-foot arms.
yeah.
Well
Like, you know that bit
done.
at the end of Howl's Moving Castle when the castle is just on those two little chicken legs.
Yes,
Oh,
yes.
yes. So yeah, we're gonna end it there. You have a new party member. You have found the missing scientist, Dr. Murdum. Jenn, you were going heavy with the Marlowe secrecy there. I had to pull some threads to get that bit out of you. I wanted us to get to that point.
That's great. Love that.
Cain was
When
just
there's
in the background
backstory
overwhelmed.
information and you as the narrator know that you need to get to a certain point at the end of a chapter, but you don't want to break the immersion. My immersion. Nicely done, folks. So I appreciate the fact that that was our first real piece of action with Bard RPG, and I think that we'll have some good testing feedback from that, because of course, even though I've written the system, this is also my first time having the chance to run it. So we're going to talk about this. We're going to talk about the different pieces, what works, what doesn't work, how we might be able to streamline it a little bit more. But that will be all done off stream, because at the end of the session, at the end of each chapter, we're going to do a quick reflection phase now. So in every reflection phase, we take a look back at the actions that were done, the new threads that were discovered, any new bonds that were made, and any progression towards wishes. Thalia, you would be included in this, because even though you were the nice culminating cliffhanger introduction at the end, these plot points and all of that still also apply to you. So, you rescued, right? You rescued Yara, Dr. Yara Murdum. You successfully escaped from that encounter in the warehouse. However, the way you did so may also have some repercussions later on, which is why the story wheel was not complete. And it completely depended on how you would do that. So I want to show what the story wheel looked like at the end there, based on each set of actions that you did either individually or together, and the associated challenge tiers with it. The good thing is it didn't move backwards, because you were still progressing towards your goal of escaping and rescuing the doctor, but with some repercussions, and we'll have to see what happens after that. So you were able to get 2 plot points from there. I would also say another plot point for the very creative use of your special action. So there's the rescue, there's escaping, there's the special action. You also get plot points for any story threads that are discovered.
Oh, yeah, we did.
So I would say that is not only the data drive, but now the knowledge that Dr. Murdum and Dr. Zerum were working together. The story thread will be anything that you'll need to continue to pull to get more information, to continue to progress. So things like meeting Ivan is not a story thread. But unveiling information, finding more of these clues, finding more of these pieces to this increasingly complex puzzle that you're unraveling would count as story threads. You also have story threads for any established bonds, or the acting upon any bonds. Do you feel that you've been able to do that in any way?
My poor friend. I just keep showing up and causing trouble.
Udam?
Yeah.
I would say you have not yet established new bonds.
No.
And in order to really make use of bonds, that would have had to have been a deliberate and conscious action working with Udam. So you didn't necessarily do that this time, but that is something that you can do in the future. I would say people that you do have bonds with right now, just by nature of the backstory and the fact that you've been here, would be Yosef at the bar, at the canteen, and Udom for you guys. Let's think about progression towards your wishes. Have you been able to do anything else or unlock new things? Cain,
Well-
I think one of your wishes may be appropriate.
Yeah, I guess, I mean, in terms of exposing corruption, we're definitely finding more info on that.
You are definitely getting closer to that. So I would say add a plot point there. Kez.
Well, I'm moving towards finding a new body because I've just removed one of my arms. So I'm kind of,
Oh no, you only have one arm!
yeah, I'm forcing myself towards that.
Is that towards it or moving away?
Well, there you go. I think it's neutral at the moment, so I don't think it's either. I don't think it's momentum either way.
No, you've increased your need for a new body.
I've increased my need, but not necessarily
Unfortunately not.
finding one.
Talia, what are your wishes? We discussed those, right?
Briefly, I think.
Mm-hmm.
I think
I think you were
most
still going to
immediate
work
one
on them.
is-
Yeah.
Yeah, I think one of the most immediate ones is getting this data disk encrypted.
Unencrypted?
Yeah.
You were
Which I'm
able
working
to hand it
towards.
over to a Sarah scientist. So I would say that would be another plot point because you're progressing towards it. So how many has that been so far?
6, I think we're on.
Out of the ones that you just earned in this session. So that was Doctor, Escape.
Yeah.
That was special action being used in a very good way.
Yeah.
That in a narratively effective way as well. That was
2 wishes.
Thread.
2 wishes.
Yeah, 2 wishes.
2 threads or 1 thread?
1 thread.
1 thread.
The disc.
No,
Yeah.
that was 2 threads because you have the knowledge that the 2 scientists
Yeah.
were working together.
Oh,
You
yeah,
got
okay.
7
Yeah. Plus the 2 we had already.
plus the 2 that you had already.
9.
So
9.
in total we have.
I mean, chapter 2 tends to be a little bit more heavy.
Mm-hmm.
We may or may not have to, by the end of this, determine if I'm being too liberal within the system for handing out plot points.
This is the whole point of it, though. This
Yeah, it
the whole
is. It
test
is
thing.
the official road test. You're right, exactly as Artemis said
And it's,
there. So that means
mechanics of
total
numbers.
you have 9. However, that kind of makes sense because you didn't spend any at the end of the first chapter, and you had 4.
Yeah. Yeah, that's true. That's true.
So you have 5 more than you started with, and you did do a lot. You did do a lot
Yeah.
in this session, and those more complex challenges are meant to be rewarded because the different things that you can do with plot points, you can unlock the ability to spend some of them on leveling up, which you can do now if you want to, or you can save them and eventually use them for the big mega plot twist later on. So would you like to save them or use them to evolve?
I think we need to try the mechanic out, don't we?
Yeah, we've
can.
never leveled up before. That could be quite fun. 'cause
Okay.
We've not done it.
So options for leveling up. You can expend 2 plot points each to improve upon an action domain that you have been actively using and working towards. You can evolve a special action. I'm trying to decide if evolving a special action is worth 3 or just keep it at 2. Because honestly, I think it kind of levels out because the special actions can still only be used once per chapter. So I think for now, let's keep it at 2 and you have that choice. Either evolve a special action or improve an action domain. And that would be expending 2.
And so with that, is it just adding 1 to any of our...
Yep. You add 1d6 to one of your domains in your stack.
Is there a max?
As of right now, no.
Cool. 'Cause 6. I feel like the main thing I've done this session is physical.
Yeah.
It was my highest
Absolutely.
already, but
Absolutely.
That's definitely the main thing I've done, so that's the thing that makes most sense.
Okay. So move that up to 66.
Yeah.
Because physical is your top, right? Physical is your
Yeah.
primary? Yeah. Move that up to 66. And now you've used 2, so you're down to 7 plot points. It's totally fine. Kez? Because you have to have enough plot points in order for everyone to level up. Not everyone has to level up, but you have to have that and agree as a party that you're going to use some for
Yeah, I'm happy
leveling.
to use 6. I'm happy to use 6 points.
Okay.
Definitely.
Are you going to...
So all 3 of us get to level up.
Yeah.
Okay, cool. I will level up my social.
How did you use your social in the past 2 sessions?
I did,
In order to show that you were actively progressing
no.
towards it. That's the thing.
No, I did not use it a lot. But I did use a lot of tech.
You did use a lot of tech.
And I kind of think that it fits the loss of one of the arms in the fact that she'll have to concentrate more on the sort of multi-tool arm.
Narratively, that fits very nicely.
Yeah, so I'll put that to 5.
Okay. Yep, because tech was at your secondary, so that was only a 4. Now you bump that up to a 5. It's at the same level of strength as your primary.
Yeah.
Thalia, you have the option to level up, although you just joined.
I want to level up my tech, but I'm not sure that makes sense.
It's a little bit tough in this one.
Yeah.
Because you have to show that you've been using it in some way. You don't have to. You can later on. You can also use the plot points in game as well. But we'll get you some more action next time if you wish to wait. You also have the option of improving one of your improving your special skills, your special actions, and evolving that. But we haven't seen you use it yet. So this is a little bit of an interesting situation since you just came into the story. So if you like, we can put that on hold.
Hold off.
Okay.
Until next session.
Excellent.
Got 2 points reserved just for you.
Absolutely. So you still have 7. So make sure on your character sheets, your character pages, you've got those 7 marked. Make sure you have the new threads marked. And make sure you mark down that you have that data disk.
Yep.
All right.
Key item.
And I would say you are working towards forming a bond with the doctor, but it has not been formed yet.
Oh no.
Definitely not.
No. So that's it. That's all we got, folks. Thank you, everyone, for tuning in. We're going to wrap it up because it is getting
thanks, everyone.
quite late. I hope you enjoyed this next chapter of the story of the adventure, and thank you for joining us as we are testing this new system in Outpost 5. Welcome, Thalia, to the party. Can't wait to see you in action next time. All right. We're going to end it there. Any announcements before we close out? Okay. I'm going
Overalls is out.
Overisles is out. Yes, go check out Overisles.
Launch
Do it.
24th.
So exciting.
Yeah, 8 a.m. in the US and 4 p.m. in the UK.
Very nice. Ooh, considering those time zones, I like it. All right. Anyone else? Okay. I don't have any more announcements other than next week I'm taking the week off from streaming. I'll still be hanging out, but I've got a little bit of a much needed holiday break and some rather exciting things that are happening. Jenn, I should clue you in at the end of this too. Secrets that you guys aren't allowed to know at this time. So, I'm going to take a week off, but we will be back the following week with more chill creation. May or may not have my very first ScribblePod guest on. We'll have to see. Keep an eye out for more updates for Bard RPG, Bard Commune. We are still working towards bringing in some new mentors now as well. And then catch us on the 4th of March. The 3rd of March for Outpost 5, Chapter 3. We're halfway through this mini-series now, so that's pretty cool. All right. Have a wonderful evening, everyone. Keep adventuring. Keep scribbling. Thank you for joining us. Have a nice night.
Bye bye.